Greta Thunberg. Empath or narcissist? This is all wrong. I shouldn't be standing here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to me for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you are doing enough, when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us, and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I don't want to believe that. Because if you fully understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil. And I refuse to believe that. The popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees centigrade, and the risk of setting off irreversible chain reactions beyond human control. Maybe 50% is acceptable to you, but those numbers don't include tipping points, most feedback loops, additional warming hidden by toxic air pollution, or the aspects of justice and equity. They also rely on my and my children's generation sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with technologies that barely exist. So a 50% risk is simply not acceptable to us, we who have to live with the consequences. To have a 67% chance of staying below a 1.5 degrees global temperature rise, the best odds given by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the world had 420 gigatons of carbon dioxide left to emit back on the 1st of January 2018. Today, that figure is already down to less than 350 gigatons. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with business as usual and some technical solutions? With today's emissions levels, that remaining CO2 budget will be entirely gone in less than 8.5 years. There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures today because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us. But the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you. We will not let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. The world is waking up, and change is coming, whether you like it or not. You will probably be familiar with those words, for it was Greta Thunberg's fiery speech at the UN Climate Action Summit in New York that took place in 2019. Essentially, Thunberg scolded the world's leaders by exclaiming, "How dare you," in reference to their perceived indifference and inaction to the climate crisis. Thunberg was already relatively well known prior to this because she had started, age 15, to adopt certain lifestyle choices, which she persuaded her parents to adopt, and she began to skip school with her School Strike for Climate sign and handing out informational flyers. But it was when she appeared at the 2019 UN Climate Action Summit that her admonishment made worldwide headlines. And since then, Greta Thunberg has repeatedly appeared in the media. But we ask ourselves the question, what is Greta Thunberg? Is she an impassioned advocate to protect the planet and address climate change, born out of huge amounts of emotional empathy for her fellow humans? Or is she the doom goblin, as she has been labelled by some, a self-absorbed, entitled mouthpiece for more powerful figures that has grown to love the attention? Or is it the case that she is someone that has always wanted attention and utilizes causes as a means to get what she wants vis-a-vis the prime aims, be it climate change, be it getting on a yacht and sailing to Gaza and being removed and deported by Israeli security forces? Greta Thunberg is a divisive figure. There are those that mock her, calling her Saint Greta, regarding her to be a puppet of her parents or other individuals, or simply a self-absorbed woman who gets off on causing controversy and the drama surrounding it. To others, she is a hero, a strong-minded, angry woman who won't rest as a consequence of the various injustices that she sees around the world, and she feels a need to do something about it. That she cannot stand to see the planet warming in the way that it does, nor for humanitarian disasters to take place as a consequence of conflict and warfare, causing her to utilize her fame in order to draw attention to these problems, in order to seek solutions. We will be looking at a range of evidence to make a determination as to what Greta Thunberg is from different sources, some that support her, some that criticize her, some that are more neutral. We're going to look at her childhood. We're going to look at any relationships that she may have had, even though, of course, she's only 22 years old. We're going to look at the controversies that surround her. We're going to look at her activism and advocacy. We're going to consider her relationship with her parents. In order to determine what somebody is, so that we can then understand their behaviour, I, as regular viewers will know, utilise a baseline categorisation of narcissist, narcissistic but not a narcissist, normal or empath. There are similarities between those classifications, but also significant differences. And it is only by examining a person's behaviour over a sustained period of time, utilising information and evidence from a variety of different sources, that we can make an assessment. As I regularly explain, you can look at one act or behaviour of an individual, and you might think to yourself, that was a real empathic moment there, or that was hugely narcissistic. But it can't inform you as to what that person is, because it's a one-off. And a variety of different factors can affect the way that a person behaves, so that in some instances it can actually cause a misrepresentation of who they are in that particular moment. Alternatively, when we look at that one behaviour as against lots of others, we might see a consistency of behaviour, which then informs us as to what that person is. There is also considerations as to other factors that might impact upon an individual's personality with regard to potential other mental health issues or conditions, which are material and impact upon a way that a person behaves, and therefore we need to take that into account. But Greta Tintin Eleonora Ernman Thunberg, who was born on the 3rd of January 2003 and has risen to fame as a Swedish climate and political activist, provides us with an interesting conundrum as to what she is. Is she an empath that cares deeply about the fate of humankind and strives to bring attention to injustice and problems, albeit sometimes in a clumsy manner? Is she someone that has a deep passion for wanting to effect change, not because she wants to draw attention to herself, but because she wants to draw attention to the problems that humankind finds, that she cares deeply about the world and the people that live there. Might it be that she is a normal individual who has found herself puppeted by others that have harnessed her naivety and youth in order to make her a cause célèbre for certain activist ideals? Has she been used, perhaps even abused in that regard, unable to recognize as a consequence of her youth that she has been utilized by older and more sagacious individuals? Might it be that she has chosen this because she enjoys the attention and utilizes the causes as a means to get that attention, that she enjoys the fame and will turn to any cause or condition to maintain it? Or is it the case that this is a woman who has a pathological need for control and attention by way of fuel, and therefore, under the auspices of caring, she cons various aspects of the world to believe that she does, whilst all the while drinking in the delicious attention that the world provides her as a consequence of her escapades? Greta Thunberg, empath or narcissist, normal or narcissistic? Well, we will find out. And as always, to assist in ensuring that more series come under the Tudorscope, the more that you can share this material to other places so that people are interested in understanding what Greta Thunberg and other people are, then the better. And you have my thanks and appreciation in advance for sharing this information as widely as you possibly can. Let the analysis begin.